Moving forward, Laguna is still under the modified enhanced community quarantine as it deals with the surge of COVID-19 cases among the places. It started last August 6 until September 30. The BIR values the safety of each and everyone, thus the following regulations have been released. Revenue Memorandum Circular Number 91-2021 clearly states the extension of the tax deadlines for a period of 15 calendar days from the lifting of the ECQ and or MECQ. Taxpayers during this period may also pay and file their taxes on the nearest authorized agent banks, notwithstanding RDO jurisdiction. One of frequently asked questions is with relation to our EFPS filers, wherein they have availed of the extension and upon filing the return, penalties are being computed automatically. With the implementation of RMC 91-2021, you are not required to pay the penalties, just settle the basic taxes. Next, we have RMC 92-2021, which pertains to the extension of deadlines to submit papers, letters, and documents in relation to ongoing BIR audits falling due on August 6 to September 30, unless otherwise extended. First, let us have a recap of the BIR audit procedures. Letter of authority is being issued to the taxpayer, giving us the permission to examine the company's transactions for a specific taxable year. Checklist of documentary requirements necessary for the audit is also attached therewith. Upon 10 days from receipt of the LOA and the company haven't or incompletely submitted the requested documents or schedules, first notice for presentation of documents is being served by the revenue officer. This gives the taxpayer another 10 days to comply. After the period given upon acknowledgement of such notice, assuming non-substantial compliance with the requirements, the revenue officer issues the second and final notice. Another 10 days are given to the company to submit the necessary records. Failure to comply will result to issuance of subpoena duces tecum. A specified time and date are being given to the taxpayer to appear on the region's legal division to comply with the requirements. Failure to obey will result to filing of a criminal case. Suppose the documents have been submitted accordingly. The revenue officer performs the audit, and after which a notice of discrepancy is being issued stating the preliminary assessment of the case. The company is given 5 days upon receipt thereof to reply and another 25 days to submit supporting documents to reconcile the findings. Afterwards, the case is being recommended for issuance of preliminary assessment notice. The company is given 15 days from acknowledgement of such notice to refute the findings stated thereof. A protest letter and supporting documents may be submitted as well. If after review and the assessment is found not to be in order, based on the taxpayer's protest letter, a final assessment notice or formal letter of demand is being issued. Within 30 days from the receipt of the FAN or FLD, the taxpayer may submit a letter to request for the investigation and another 60 days to submit the supporting documents therewith. The revenue officer assigned should perform the investigation based on the additional submitted documents. After such, a result of the investigation is being discussed with the taxpayer. And if there are still items under dispute, final decision on disputed assessment is being issued. The taxpayer may still file a request for reconsideration to the Commissioner of Internal Revenue on FDDA within 30 days from receipt of such notice. In relation to RMC 92-2021, the deadline set forth in the process flow that falls during the ECQ or MECQ period is hereby extended as prescribed by the said regulation. As an example, received notice of discrepancy on July 15, 2021 will give the taxpayer until August 14 to refute the findings. But since it falls under MECQ period, the deadline would be extended for 30 days upon lifting of the MECQ, thus until October 30, assuming no extension of the community quarantine classification. Another scenario is a preliminary assessment notice received on August 12, 2021. 15 days are given to reply and submit documents in response to such notice. Thus, the deadline falls during MECQ or on August 27, 2021. Pursuant to the issued RMC, the taxpayer's reply is hereby extended by 15 days from lifting of the said community quarantine classification, therefore until October 15. Lastly, face-to-face meetings of BIR officials and employees with taxpayers shall likewise be deferred and rescheduled until the lifting of any future declarations of ECQ or MECQ. So that would be all for the provisions of RMC 91-2021 and RMC 92-2021. Again, thank you everyone for listening.